Welcome to the Windows Computer and Technology channel. And one of the big questions that I got today, and that is interesting because Windows 10 is, of course, in a phase where it's just being maintained. And what I mean by that is it's mostly bug fixes and security updates. There's this impression that updates should be small. And of course, October proved a lot of us wrong in the way that sometimes an update for security can be a really big one. And so this is what happened. And of course, the question that came is, is Microsoft going to push big updates like that again in the future? Well, that depends on what security flaws are found in Windows 10. So the fact that there were 73 security flaws in Windows 10 this week when the fix was there means that there's a lot of things that you need to, a lot of files that need to be changed. A lot of things need to be moved around in Windows so that, we can be safe. The more the security flaws exist in a Patch Tuesday update, the longer it's going to take for an update usually. Because depending on the modules, sometimes what makes it fast, because it could happen that there's a lot of security flaws, but it's fast. But sometimes security flaws are all concentrated in one file. So it could be a DLL, for example, that has 8 different ways of being exploited. Now, you don't have to, download and install 8 times the DLL. You download the corrected DLL with all the 8 fixes inside. That makes it fast. But sometimes, and this week is probably the case, there's so many flaws of different nature in different files that you have a lot of files that you downloaded that you had to replace and that you have to work on. And of course, that extended the amount of time. Add to that, depending on the nature of your PC, if it's a modern PC with SSD or an old PC, everybody had different times. I've seen some people say that they had 3-4 hours and 5-hour installs this time around. So this is kind of interesting. The nature of each Patch Tuesday update will always be that, depending on what is the fix, it's going to vary in length every month. And this is why sometimes I'll mention, when you get, because I know a lot of people prefer not to do it, but I will sometimes say, that update preview that fixes bugs, you can ignore it, but it's still going to be installed anyways. So that's why I sometimes say, if you want to install the preview update for bug fixes, that is going to be something already done that will not have to be done at the Patch Tuesday security updates. Because I suspect that some of you that it took a lot of time might have been stuck with that happening. The security fix and the bug fixes and an extra this month, the KB 517.16 that I talked about. So it will always vary in length and time, and it all depends on the amount of security flaws they'll find every month. And so we are not immune to having future updates on Windows 10 that might be as big as we had in October of this month. But we will have months where it's actually much quicker and there's a lot less to do. That's the nature of updates, unfortunately, in Windows. So that's the way it is. But there's something that a lot of people tend to forget, and it's to leave the PC alone. In general, when you turn on the PC, it will actually check for updates and do it. I still say there's too many people stuck in front of the screen saying, I'm waiting for that to finish, which is something you shouldn't do. You let it do whatever it has to do. You work on your PC. You do whatever you want to do. and it will actually toggle that little moment where it's going to say, oh, by the way, it's time to restart now for the updates. And that's what we should all do instead of, looking at a percentage that doesn't move. And there's no logic between the percentages, obviously, because sometimes you'll be at 1%, 2%, 3%, and poof, it's going to jump to 70 for some reason, which has no logic. And sometimes it's, I've seen a lot of you actually mention that you were stuck at 100% for a long time. Well, that you can't look at that percentage and think, oh, well, it's all done. Why is it stuck? Well, it has not finished. It's not stuck. It's just that percentage isn't correct. Maybe that's something also that Microsoft could be considering, to look at a better way of integrating a percentage for updates so that it probably will reflect reality a little more than what's happening. It reminds me of when I started my tech duties and I would install Windows 98. If you guys remember, Windows 98, when you would clean install, had a time on the left side. It would tell you, 65 minutes left. But on slow PCs, you notice that those minutes were actually 4 minutes long, just to tell you that, it just didn't work out. So, we're not immune to other really big updates. It's the way it is. But as long as the important thing is as long as they install and everything's fine. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.